reparation, or what's missing when we seek to repair harm. Kelly's sister Susan was often angry as a kid, and her parents did little to contain or check her behavior as she was growing up. During their childhood and early adulthood, Susan often abused Kelly verbally and emotionally, and once, when they were in high school, she physically assaulted Kelly. As a result, Kelly distanced herself from Susan, and they have been semi-estranged for years. Since Susan's divorce, however, Kelly's parents have increasingly pressured Kelly to forgive her sister, to be more understanding about Susan's current challenges as a single mother of small children, and to show up as a support during this difficult time. Should Kelly forgive her sister? Should she re-enter her life? Does it matter whether or not Susan has apologized for her past actions? What are Susan's obligations here? What about their parents' obligations? What, if anything, is owed to Kelly, and from whom? Isabella I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon, rulers of Spain, expelled all the Jews from the country in 1492, a devastating blow to a robust community that had been on the Iberian Peninsula for over 1,700 years. In 2015, the Spanish Parliament sought to offer redress, inviting descendants of those who had been expelled to apply for Spanish citizenship. But despite the law's declaration that Spain welcomed these people to re-encounter their origins, opening forever the doors of their homeland of old, the process for doing so seemed astonishingly demanding. In fact, as the provisions of the law were being discussed, several members of Parliament noted how onerous these requirements appeared to be. The window for submitting applications was open for only 4 years, and those seeking citizenship had to supply proof of lineage, pass a 4-hour Spanish language test, and complete a citizenship test covering various topics in Spanish culture and society. To even be considered, applicants had to travel to Spain to finalize their file with a Spanish notary. And, in the end, Spain approved only about 20% of the applicants and retroactively implemented additional requirements, claiming that they were concerned some applications might be fraudulent. Should this law be considered appropriate amends to the descendants of the Jewish community? If more allowances had been made, a greater window of time or less red tape, would the gesture be adequate? What else, if anything, might Spain be obligated to do with regard to the descendants of the Jews banished for the crime of being Jewish? Does 21st century Spain even owe these descendants anything at all? The woman who created and popularized the gender reveal party, writing up a gathering she held during her first pregnancy in what would become a viral blog post, shared 11 years later that she regretted having done so. Part of her regret was because of the immediate material harm that was sometimes caused as a result of increasingly outrageous reveals, wildfires, accidental deaths. But mostly, she felt bad about placing even more cultural emphasis on the sex assigned a baby at birth. She now understands, as she has shared on Facebook and elsewhere, that this emphasis can damage trans and non-binary kids, as well as limit the gender expression of cisgender kids. What, if anything, should she do now? What could or should her repentance work look like? Are her obligations tempered if, at the time, she was ignorant of the potential harm of her blog post? If she had no idea that her party idea would create such a significant cultural impact? The challenges surrounding apologies and forgiveness, repentance and reconciliation, amends and atonement invite a lot of questions, and they're neither simple nor theoretical. They impact the very structure of our criminal justice system. They are ever present in our rapidly shifting conversation on sexual abuse. These questions haunt the legacies of every country touched by colonialism.